All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Pastor Devin Miller, the real pastor, the true pastor, trying a conversation with Pastor Devin Miller on StreamYard. Um, so if I seem a little scattery, it's only because I'm trying to look at all this stuff that's on the screen um, so that I can get familiar with all the gadgets and gizmos. But we are happy to be here. I think this is going to be the platform that we're going to use moving forward. In fact, we will um be trying to use it tonight on our teaching at 8:30 Central Time from our Bible study series from the Bible in the Light of Our Redemption. Um, so if you can, stay tuned or come back, excuse me, for that. And we'll definitely, hopefully, excuse me, be here to teach. We're moving away from YouTube because for some reason YouTube is not recording all of our lives when we're on. So last night, the timer said we were on for an hour and 20 minutes, but when I went to the actual video, it was only 3 minutes. And so we've checked our connections, everything is fine, but we just don't know why it's not recording fully, and it's sporadic. You know, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That doesn't help me. So, and it doesn't help me because we were using YouTube as our video library. And we have over 400 plus videos of Bible study and commentary there on the Clear Faith Christian Ministries channel. But as of late, it hasn't been recording all of it. So we still have a history there and we'll still keep it there. But I think for our live broadcast, we're going to be using StreamYard, which will also give us the opportunity to have guests on the video. And so today, a friend of mine, Holger Spiewak, out of Michigan, is going to be joining us hopefully soon. I did send him the link. So hopefully it will work. And we're going to be talking about Starfish, which is an app that you can use to do all of your shopping. But the good thing about it is that it gives you an instant cashback, and you're cutting out the fees that you normally have to pay in transaction when you just simply use your credit or your debit card. But I'm allow Holger to kind of explain an overview of the process, and then in future tapings, we're going to be kind of walking you step by step so that you will want to become a part of the Starfish community and also save some money, especially in times that we're in where the tariffs are coming and some of them are already here, as far as feeling the effects of the tariffs and higher prices, and of course the grocery store. Gas is kind of okay, but everything you buy now is going to be have a tariff or a tax attached, which means it's higher prices. And we don't need that right now, especially when you've got the imbalance of government cutting services, cutting um, jobs, cutting contracts, and all of that. So um, we will have a brief conversation about that, but you'll be getting more information once we kind of work the bugs out. So this is a test conversation, as we entitled it, and I believe it's simulcasting on our YouTube channel, and I don't know what that's going to look like. So we're trying to see if Holger's going to be able to join us. I hope it works. And what that was. If it doesn't, then you'll just see me for a minute. Let me see. All right. I wish I had some music, but then I have to give a disclaimer. Uh, I'm not doing all of that. So I'm right now going over to my email and see if we can send him a invite in real time. I sent an email last night when I was piddling around with it, uh, but this time we're going to send it in real time and see if that works. All right. Hope everybody's having a great day and doing what you want to do. And if you took a few minutes to watch us here, we definitely appreciate it. Um, okay. All right. I just got a text from him saying he's going to be a few minutes late. So let me tell you while he's doing that. Um, hold on. So what we're going to be doing is teaching. We're using the book, the Bible, no, excuse me, the Advanced Bible Course, Studies in the Deeper Life by E.W. Kenyon. And basically, we come on, depending on if I have a guest or not, but we come on and we just teach the Word of God using that study book. And we're in the process of doing multiple days. We used to just do one day, but I think we're going to move it to 2 days of Bible study teaching, and then on Friday, so it'd be Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be teaching. Tuesday at 9, although we may move it to 8:30, and tonight we're going to be on at 8:30. So we may move it just a half hour up. We typically go about an hour and a half, so that will get us done here at 10 on Central Time, but will get us done at 11 on the East Coast, where we have a lot of our followers. And whereas we were doing it before at 9 o'clock, we weren't starting until 10. So I think starting till at 9:30 will give them, a little bit more time before they get tired, because we want to keep everybody engaged. So that's why we're moving the video version to StreamYard, but we're going to keep TikTok because we're also on TikTok live at the same time. So if you don't have, if you're looking at us through YouTube, what we're going to do is probably about a half hour before, we will post the link to StreamYard on our TikTok page as a reminder, and then you can do either one. You can either come on live, which is going to be a little dicey because I get a lot of different people in our teaching through TikTok. So it's going to be interesting how we may find people through the announcement that want to be on the screen. And hopefully they'll be respectful and be willing to just be an audience, but also be able to ask questions, but not make statements and take platform. So we're going to do all that later today. We'll probably make a TikTok video announcing that we're going to be on StreamYard tonight, but we're going to put some stipulations in place because I got some people that come on my TikTok that want to tell me, I'm not teaching right. So those folks will not be allowed to be on our teaching time. But on our Q&A time, we're definitely going to welcome people to come on and talk. So you can look forward to that. Um, okay, so let me see. Um, okay. Oh, I don't want to do that. He says he's in the. Okay. See you. I can't see you. All right. Well, it's saying that there's someone in the queue, but I don't know how to get to the queue. So I'm texting Holger in case you're wondering what I'm doing. Um, all right. So that's really what's coming up. I'm excited because I always like to try new things. Um, and so this is definitely a new thing. uh, I'm wondering if the link is refreshed every time. Because, like I said, I emailed it to him last night. Um, but that may have been for yesterday because we're doing the free version just to see how it works. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right.
Hello.
All right. Here we go. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome. How you doing?
Well, I'm in learning mode, so
Yeah.
I'm okay. But this is a new audience for us, and it's telling me that we're simulcasting on YouTube, so I need to see if that's if that's happening. But basically, I just want you to introduce yourself and kind of give an overview of what Starfish is about. I kind of already gave an introduction briefly of what we're going to be doing uh, through this medium as far as educating people on, what money does, what credit card does, and how Starfish can help. But just give a little, just an overview of what Starfish is and how it's going to help people in this economy.
Yeah. Can you give me a little background who we got on? Who our
Oh,
audience is?
I don't know. We're simulcasting on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's just you and me talking on here. It's just you and me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my name is Holger and I'm originally from Germany. But I live in Davison, Michigan, little town about 10 miles east of Flint. And yeah, I guess how much time you want me to take for this overview?
About
5 minutes, 10
yeah,
minutes?
about 5-10 minutes will be
Oh,
good.
okay. All right. So, all right. Quick, my story. I grew up in Germany, lived there about half my life. And came over here. I've got two sisters, both made Americans. I met over in Germany. So I came over here in 1993 to go to college. I already gotten a master's degree in Germany to become a teacher. And then I always say, looking back, got a different plans for my life because from college, I already gotten a master's degree in Germany to become a.
That's me. Don't worry. I'm just looking at it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so I was, grew up in Germany with big dreams. I love traveling. I love fast cars. So I thought that go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work hard was my ticket for success. And so got my master's degree in Germany, become a teacher, ended up going to Purdue here in the United States, got two more master's degrees, one in applied math and one in business. And I became an engineer back in 1997. And, I thought this is it. This is going to make me rich. And so after a couple of years into that journey, I wasn't even close to where I wanted to be. And so I was in the looking zone. I started looking at, vending machines and franchises and all kinds of other different real estate businesses, whatever. And nothing really fit me. And then through a friend of mine, I met my now good friends, Owen Woodward and Chris Brady back in 1999, who had been engineers at General Motors in their previous life. But when I met them, they were younger than me and they had already retired in their late 20s. And so they had basically started several successful businesses where they've become financially free, meaning they had this crazy concept called time plus money. You can probably relate to that. I was looking for time and money. I just didn't know how to get it. And
Right.
so really what happened is they showed me a way out because they'd already been working on the system to help people succeed financially in really all areas of life for several years. And it was just a system that, like, as an engineer, made sense. You just follow the steps like a recipe. And sure enough, my buddy Bill that worked with these guys about 15 months part-time was able to walk away from his job at 30 in 2000, November 2000. It took me a little longer, about 3.5 years to become job optional back in February 2003. Met my wife a couple weeks after that. Now we've got 7 kids, and this is all I've been doing for the last 22 years, basically. And so anyway, since 1999, Oren and Chris have kept developing the community building concept, and doing some really great things in the years. We started a leadership development company back in 2011 that had many different sources for people to become the best version of themselves. In the meantime, Oren and Chris have both become New York Times best-selling authors and Inc. magazine top 50 leadership experts in the world out of 8 billion people, which is significant. I feel very privileged that out of top 50 in the world, I know 2 of those. And recently, a couple of years back, they came up with a because Oren and Chris are way beyond financial freedom. They don't do anything for money anymore. They really want to make this world a better place. And you guys probably agree that there's lots of problems in this world. There's wars and division and economic issues and all kinds of different things. And Oren and Chris have literally done decades of research on our financial system, not just in the United States, but around the world. And so, in fact, my friend Oren just wrote a book called Insidious, where all this 20-some years of research is in this book. And it really exposes, in my mind, the greatest scam the world has ever seen. I mean, pretty much all the wars and economic issues, injustice, all that kind of stuff goes back to the financial system. Okay, so now as engineers, they're like, okay, how do we find a solution to this problem? And in engineering, you always want to find the root cause. What's the root cause of this problem? And when you look at the system, the way it works with debt. Anytime debt is created, the system promulgates, like it becomes bigger. The behemoth becomes bigger. And so when you think about how does the debt cycle start, right? I've got 7 kids, as I said, and my oldest is 20. And if you guys have teenagers or that are getting to 18 years old, you probably, just like me, get credit card applications in the mail all the time for your kids. Because what happens is the debt system, the financial system, or the banksters, as we call my friend Raymond Abbott, I think from St. Louis calls them, works, right? Just like a drug dealer, right? They give the prospect, so to speak, take a little hit. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, right?
Right.
And I can get a credit card and have to only make minimum payments. This is great. I can buy stuff and don't have to worry. But this is awesome. And then you buy a little more. And then, and all of a sudden you need a car loan, and then you need a student loan, and then you need a mortgage, and all of a sudden you're in debt for the rest of your life.
Right.
Look around your friends, family. We see a bunch of financial slaves. That the whole world, our country specifically, is full of financial slaves. We are beholden to the Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender. Right? And so Oren and Chris have decided we want to just, I think Luke chapter 4, Jesus talks about setting the captives free, giving sight to the blind. Because the problem is, guys, that most people don't understand. They didn't even know what's going on. It's kind of like the movie The Matrix. Well, you don't really know the Matrix is this, but it does behind the scenes. And the debt systems kind of runs behind it. Everybody kind of, knows about it. You won't believe how many times I've talked to people and they tell me with a straight face, I don't have any debt. I've got a mortgage, but I don't have any debt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? What's a mortgage? That's debt.
Right.
That's like the guy in the movie The Matrix, the trader guy, that when he goes back to the Matrix, I remember he's eating in the restaurant and he's taking a bite out of the steak, and he says, man, I know this is fake, but it tastes so good.
Right.
And so that's how most people are in this financial matrix, right? And so our goal is to set the captives free, give sight to the blind. How do we do that? Well, first of all, we have to help people understand what's going on. And that's where this book really helps people educate themselves on understanding the system. Just like Neo in the movie The Matrix, once he understood the Matrix, he could fight the Matrix, he could fight the system. And so we give people sight, so to speak, and understanding to determine what the system does and how it works. Then we give people specific tools. Pastor Devin mentioned this Starfish platform because, again, the debt cycle starts with credit cards.
Right.
And so Starfish, in a short form, is right now the only way to make a digital payment online or in the store without the credit card system being involved.
Okay.
So when you look at obviously credit cards, but even look at the other like Venmo and PayPal and Cash App, all these platforms use the credit card system.
Right.
When you use these platforms, you forward their agenda. You help them, right? Yeah. And sometimes people say, "Well, I don't have credit card debt. I pay my credit cards off all the time." Well, guess what? The people that pay all this interest, you're making money off them. Mm-hmm. Because where do credit cards get their money from? From the people that pay interest and fees. You know, so I pay my credit card off, yes, but the cash back comes from people that don't pay the credit card off, right? So we're still feeding the system. In fact, most of the time, people that are good with paying the credit card off become advertisers for the system.
Right.
We get our fellow Americans back into debt. That's not right. Right.
Yeah.
And so with Starfish, it's the first time we have a way to make a digital payment without the credit card system being involved. And then the way that works is I can go on my phone and any of this, 600 some national brands already. We got Walmart, Amazon, Applebee's, Subway. I mean, you name it. We'll almost have everything on there already. And when I go to these stores, whether in person or online, I can check out. And in the checkout process, where you would usually pay out my credit card, I go on my phone and I select the merchant, Subway, for example, and I say my sandwich is $10.53. I type in $10.53. And with my phone, I purchase a Subway gift card from Subway for $10.53. Mm. What happens when I buy this gift card, I'm paying them with cash because I've deposited money into my Starfish platform before from my bank account. So when Subway gets paid with cash, guess what? They don't have to pay credit card fees.
Right.
As a customer, I get instant cash back. So the customer gets cash back. The merchant doesn't have to pay the fees. Everybody, it's a win-win. And guess who loses? The credit cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. And so it's just like, I would say that it's just like in Star Wars, right? I mean, have you ever seen Star Wars, you guys? When the evil empire, which is we'll call the financial system as the evil empire, right? And their biggest weapon, so to speak, Darth Vader, is inflation. Because what happens anytime the system creates more debt, or based on somebody borrowing something, they create more monopoly money, right? Mm-hmm. But the dollar is a fiat money. It's just money because they say so, right? Every time debt is created, there's more money in circulation bidding on the same amounts of goods and services, and that means that prices go up. When prices go up, then our purchasing power goes down.
Right.
What that is, guys, what that mechanism does, it's indirect theft. And it steals from everybody. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. They take from everybody. Mm-hmm. And guess what? If you take money from everybody, that's one thing that you do you don't want people to find out, right? And so what do? Well, because you have unlimited money, you can buy the media, you can buy politicians on both sides of the aisle, you can buy generals, you can do all kinds of different things, and you create public opinion. And you get all this division happening in your society. You get this group of people fight against this group of people. And anybody see any division in this country? Anybody see division in this world? Right. And so it's intentional. It's intentional. They do that because they don't want us to figure out what they're going to do all of us. They're stealing all of our money, guys. Mm-hmm. I give you an example. 1971. Let's Pastor Devin. Let's say your grandpa, right? Mm-hmm. 1971. You were probably a couple of years old. How old were you in 1971?
71. 6, 7.
Okay. You were 6 years. So let's say 1970. Your grandpa had worked hard his whole life, and he'd saved $100,000 working his whole life. And he said, okay. He went to your mom and said, I want this $100,000 to go to my grandson. No. Yeah, I want this $100,000 to go to my grandson, but I want you to wait 50 years. I want you to give it to him in 2021.
Okay.
So 2021, your birthday comes, President Devin, and your mom comes to you, hey, gives you this envelope. This is from Grandpa, right? And you're like, 100,000. This is awesome. It's the 100,000, the exact money, the $100,000 in paper notes that your grandpa saved that you now if you have in your hands. Mm-hmm. And you're like, this is fantastic. I just wanted to buy a Cadillac. You go to the Cadillac dealership, man, $100,000. This is the top model. We got all the features, everything. You buy a new car. What a great birthday present.
Right.
Here's the problem with that story. In 1971, your grandpa could have bought 10 of those cars with the same money.
Mm.
So in the last 50 years, the financial system has stolen 90% of your grandpa's money.
Wow.
And it don't matter if you're black or white.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's the greatest scam in the history of the world. And so what do we do with Starfish? We're deciding to not participate in the scam anymore, right? We're not taking anything from them. We're just deciding to not give them our money anymore. We found a better way, just like in the turn of the century when the automobile came out, right? It was a better model. And people that used to use horse and buggies, all of a sudden, well, this is a better model. I don't have to feed it. It doesn't poop all over the place. I can just put gas in it. It runs. It takes me from A to B. But it's a better way to transportation. And everybody gravitated to the better model. Right. And this is exactly what we're doing. We have created, some smart people that I'm working with have created a better model. And now here's the side. Like, and this is where we go back to Star Wars, right? People that use the Starfish platform are what I call Jedi Knights, because the Starfish is our lightsaber. Mm-hmm. And every time we use it, it's one strike against the financial matrix. Eventually, it's going to be death by a million cuts, right?
Right.
But there's the Jedi Knights that use the Starfish, and then there's Jedi Masters. Then in our model, we apply the direct sales model to this whole concept, where people like me, and if you so choose, you can become a member of the platform and decide to help us build a community that use Starfish, and we actually pay people for helping other people save money on things they're already buying anyways, right? And so that's kind of how Starfish works. I mean, I'm super excited about this. I've been around this community for 25 years. It's certainly changed my life in many, many different ways. I met my wife through this. Been job optional for 22 years. I became a Christian because of this. I was a complete atheist because of this whole thing. Now I'm a freak, as I always say.
Right.
So it's been, and God gets all the glory. I tell you guys, God gets all the glory. And now God doesn't need our help. He can just snap his finger and the financial system is dead. However, as you guys know, God always does things that he wants to accomplish through people.
Right.
And so the other day I was reading about Abraham Lincoln, how early on in his life, he always felt, and other people noticed, there was something different about his life. And he always felt called to participate in great things in history. And now looking back, of course, we know he's integral in getting rid of slavery in the United States. I mean, what a big calamity that was.
Right.
And so I really believe that my friend Orrin Woodward is going to be the next Abraham Lincoln, because we have this global system of debt slavery. Right. And I believe that Orrin is called by God to set the captives free. And so Starfish is the means to the end, right? And so we want you guys to join the consumer rebellion, because we need Jedi Knights and we need Jedi Masters, right?
Right.
I'm very blessed to be connected with Pastor Devin. He's a great guy. I believe God connected us many, many years ago, and we stay connected. And I really feel the time has come now that for us to do something together and give sight to the blind and set the captives free.
Most definitely. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Like I said, I prefaced everything, and I'm watching it. And so now I kind of got an idea of how I need to draw people to the channel. But I did say on this video that, we're going to introduce it today, and then subsequently we'll have a series of conversations, really kind of getting into the weeds of why this is important, why the rebellion is necessary, and why Starfish is the platform to, as you said, set the captives free. So looking forward to our conversations. Now I know how this platform works, and so now I got to put on the marketing hat and draw people to our YouTube channel so that they can watch live, because it's a delay, but it's a live broadcast on YouTube. So we will be in real time, and people will be able to come on through YouTube, and I'll be able to monitor the chat room to see what the questions are as hopefully people come on and get excited about what we're doing. So thank you very much for your time. We'll, of course, be talking to put the strategy together. But I gave you the outline already, so I think we're ready to roll. I just got to find a date and time for us to do it consistently, and then we'll see what happens.
All right.
All right, sir. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. God bless.
God bless. All right, folks. That was Holger Spiewak out of Michigan, who came on and gave us a little overview of Starfish. And he and I are going to be the ones that are going to be having the conversation. I'll be feeding him questions and he'll be answering. And, we'll be going back and forth here on StreamYard. But you can watch us on YouTube. I'm the one, if you see the one in the corner, I'm the one that's on. And we've been on for about 20 minutes. 30 minutes total. These videos and these conversations won't be long, but they'll be impactful and powerful. So you don't want to miss them. So again, you'll be able to see this on our Clear Faith Christian Ministries channel. And we will probably start this in June because next week is holiday week with Memorial Weekend. This has been graduation week for some schools on the high school and college level. So we know families are traveling, families are going around. But the summer, once June hits and school is officially out all over, folks will kind of slow down, and hopefully that'll give you some time to come and watch and see what we're doing. So again, this is Pastor Devin Miller, the real pastor, the true pastor. Thanking you for watching us on today, and stay tuned. You'll be seeing announcements through TikTok. You'll be getting announcements as to our next broadcast when we'll start talking about how we can break free from this financial nightmare through credit cards that is causing debt to rise in this country. We need our money right now. And so I think this is the platform to do it so that we can get our money back and really see savings instead of hearing about savings. Okay. So until next time, may God's riches and greatest blessings be yours. Peace.